Hello there everyone. Today I want to share with you a common problem that we see as farmer florists. We often receive requests for this sort of beautiful ring-shaped centerpiece design work. It's typically in lieu of a vase arrangement, and sometimes in the middle of the ring shape you'll have candles, or your client might want to put their table markers, something like that. And typically the images they share with me from Pinterest have a lot of greenery that isn't available here or that we're not able to grow in the Northeast. So we're choosing our botanical elements wisely. They're going to be out of water for the duration of the event. And we also want to come up with a clever way to prepare these items because we're going to do 11 tables worth in this instance. And we want to do that efficiently because making these all into a bunch of wreaths or something like that could be really time consuming. We are starting with a little mock-up on a 14-inch marble turntable. You can sort of see it there down below. This is the same size diameter as the wooden chargers that my client told me are going to be waiting for us at the event venue for each table. So our task is to make a beautiful botanical greenery and floral arrangement that is ring-shaped and that will have her different personal things that will go in the center of the table once we get there. So I'm going to share with you how we do that and then how we also expedite this process, make it efficient and quick and easy. So let's have a look at how we construct this. We could take all these different botanical elements and wire them to a ring. We could put them through our wreath clamp machine and make a bunch of wreaths ahead of time, and that would make the placement of these at the event really easy. You know, just set the wreath down essentially in the center of the table on top of their wooden chargers. But that takes a lot of prep time. And what we find is that we're able to create these really pretty, arrangements with lots of depth by just making some little bundles. So we make 6 little bundles in the case of this size design, 2 different types. We have one bundle that has this dark red sedum, it has eucalyptus, it has some bright green sedum to sort of touch off the darker color, and it has some German statice. And we're alternating that with some bundles that have a light pink sedum, some eucalyptus, some German statice, and a little bit of cedar. And so we've got 3 of each of those types of bundles, and we're just layering them around the circle and tucking the rubber bands underneath the previous bundle so that it's like a wreath, but it's actually just made up of 6 preformed bundles. So much easier placement than doing like separate individual botanical elements at the venue. That's really time consuming and don't ever recommend taking on that sort of work. The next challenge is to keep each of these bundles, we need to make a total of 66 of them, all nice and neatly organized for our event. So let's look at that now. Okay, now for the fun part. I want all of my little bundles to be really nicely organized and hydrated for the event so everything is seamless once I get there. You might be using flowers or greenery that are more in need of more water than the hardy things that we're using here. That's fine. So what we do to keep everything organized now is we go right to our seed starting materials in our potting area. And I take some 72 cell trays. I take a liner with no holes, and I take a basket for below as support because we're gonna add water to our liner, and we're gonna slip our 72 cell tray in there, and it's gonna act like a bunch of little vases all ready to go. And then we just take our bundles and we put them right into our 72 cell tray with the water in there, and they'll stay nice and hydrated tonight and tomorrow during transport. Once I get to the venue, I'm gonna pour off my water right out of my trays. I don't even have to empty all the little bundles. I can just pour it right off into a bucket in the van so that I don't have to try to tiptoe super carefully into the venue. I can just walk straight into the dining room and get these ready to go down. I'll keep a little towel on me so I can wipe the water off the ends before I place them. And then, we're ready to rock and roll. For 11 tables worth of this design, it only takes 3 trays like this to move all of those tables worth of flowers. Only 3 trays. That's hardly any space in a delivery vehicle.